Yep.
Hey guys, Firefighter Jacoby C-Shift. We're just going to talk a little bit about some of our options if our standpipe in a multifamily residential or any of our mid-rise structures is out of service. So something that we're trying to work towards is a 3-inch scissor deployment for a manual standpipe. We'll be working on getting a vernacular out that specifies all the terminology we're going to be using. But essentially, we're going to utilize our 3-inch through interior stairwells or long stretches to establish water supply for our attack lines. The difference in how we're doing this is by shoulder loading the loaf and splitting it between 2 members of our crew. We're able to avoid dragging hose, tons of 3-inch around pinch points and getting couplings and steps all tangled and caught up. So as we start, we recognize we have a standpipe failure. 2 members of the crew will split off to essentially establish the manual standpipe. One member will bring gated Y with them. We will simply open our 3-inch. As you can see from the right side, we have a male on the bottom. This end of the supply stack is going to be the stack we're going to be pulling out, and we're going to be utilizing this 250 feet in the rightmost stack to essentially give us this manual standpipe in place. So when we reload this, we set up a little dog ear here, which is essentially my marker where I'm going to split the loaf. When I do this, I want to make sure I give adequate length. Since it's not 6 feet like many of our crosslays and pre-connects, I need to have a pretty adequate amount hanging down, roughly at knee length. I will then step off, allowing the hose to come clear of the tray, and I will step off to the side. Second man will now grab the bottom of the loaf with the Y. As he makes this connection, he'll have essentially what we'll call the attack, and I'll have the supply. So as we start to advance towards our stairwell, whatever access point that we're going to make, I'm going to allow each one of these folds to work itself off of my shoulder, and so thereby we're bypassing pinch points by loading hose into those areas and not dragging hose past them. So as you can see, Engineer Gallup gets a lengthy section out. Make sure he has that Y in hand, and he'll step off. And at this point, we're now ready to advance. He'll try and retain some tension between us so we're not hanging too much hose. But as we start to walk towards our goal, which will start going now, as I walk and advance, I allow it to play off my shoulders. At the door. We've now preloaded our hose into the area. From here, the second man, or the heel, who is dealing with all the supply, can work back to the engine, disconnect the 3-inch. So this would ideally be the engineer's spot. As you continue to allow the folds to play off the shoulder. We could also have that second bar dressing it, loading into the outside corners of the stairwell. And then from here, once we have access, we can essentially manage our hose, begin to charge it, and meet up with those who are carrying our attack hose lines.